Holy mackerel. Jeez. Good morning. It is the Morning Mayhem show. Not so much mayhem. Not so much mayhem, but it's a show. It's going to be a show. I hope it's a show. Man, we got lots to talk about today. Hopefully everyone can hear me. I'm sure everyone will let me know. Let's just get right to it. We got a ton of show. I mean, I think it's a ton of show. Like, I'm not super good at doing the Diddy stuff and the Blake Lively stuff, but I'm super interested in it all, and I'm going to talk about it. I made some notes. I got some clips, and we're going to start our show. We're going to end the show every day with a funny animal clip. I got some funny ones lined up. Everyone's probably seen them. I've never seen them. I look at funny cat clips because my cat has a funny cat clip out there, and I'm looking for it and I can't find it. But we'll just see how it goes. Anyways, good morning, Heather. How are you doing today? Good morning, Blessed Crochet. I know you won't be with us today, and she won't be modding anymore. She's just taking some time off to focus on her channel. Her channel is growing quite well, and I understand. And so we just wish her all the best. And she will be. She has therapy this morning, and she will be participating in the chat as time goes on. I did remove all the mods, I think, except for James, and I don't have a managing mod anymore. Tommy had made Reese the managing mod. But she's got her channel and all her stuff, and I wouldn't expect her to be a mod on my channel. And just with everything that's gone on, that's obviously the best, right? I do want this to be my channel, Sam's channel, after the bars. I have so much content that I'm going to be uploading and publishing, and just the regular video stuff, not the live stuff. And we're just going to hope for the best and see, and take a swing for the fences and see if it all comes together. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? I just want it to be fun and light, but I am gonna add some more mods. So James, I'm sorry if you get overwhelmed with stuff with the mods. Let me know, who do you think would be a great mod? I'm still, like I said, I'm new to this. I've never modded for a channel. I'd be happy to, for the people that are helping me mod my channel. I think that would be awesome. I'm more than willing to do that, and I let Bless know that too, that I would love to be a mod for her channel. And let's get to it. Good morning, Jamie Palmer. How are you doing today? Tammy, good morning. James Collins cares. I want you guys to know that James Collins is an amazing dude, man. He's an amazing dude. I've never talked to him on the phone, and I know some people would say, well, how do you know he's an amazing dude? His actions in the chats and his actions when he's modding, he's never coming from a place of hate, of course. And I want to think of a new way to say that, to coming from a place of love, because I just think that it's become such an easy thing to say and not really mean it, that I want to break away from coming from a place of love. Not the actual doing coming from a place of love, but like thinking of a new way to express that. And so that's really all I desire. But I guess back to James is that, yeah, I've never talked to him on the phone and I've never met him, but his actions in the chats are always come with integrity. And I love you, brother, for who you are, from what I know of you. And plus he's got lots of tattoos, and you can't go wrong with that, right? That's right. Good morning, Paula. How you doing today? Aunt Lindy, how are you? Good morning. Jamie Palmer, I'm going to say it twice because that is my brother's name. Aunt Lindy, I said already. Aunt Lindy, Aunt Lindy, Aunt Lindy. Good morning, Paula. How you doing? That's my oldest daughter's mother's name is Paula. Um, I wonder how she's doing, by the way. I bet she's doing okay. Good morning, Jackie Azur. How are you doing today? SMG Infinity, how are you doing? I think I have some unread emails from you, I think, or did I respond already? Just know that I am keeping on top of the emails. Good morning, Sherry Labroom. Good morning, Typer Mama. Typer Mama 72. 72 was a great year. I was 4 years old in 72. Looking forward to kindergarten. And then my parents got divorced that year also. So it wasn't a great year, I guess, for that. It's so funny. I don't know if you guys have experienced a divorce in your family, but I remember being a little kid sitting on the floor looking up at my dad and mom telling me that they were going to get a divorce. And I remember just starting to cry. And I remember that night being in my bunk bed bawling. And I remember my dad coming in real late, because he moved out. I remember him coming in real late and just, crying there with me, telling me it's going to be okay, that he's going to see me on the weekends. And he kept his word. I've never lost contact with my dad. He's still alive in Michigan and doing awesome. So anyways, boy, I sure like to digress, hon. People are probably going to hate that. Good morning, Kathy Wood. How are you doing today? Good morning, John Lazon. Hey, how's it going, my man? John's another good dude. Everything he is always coming from a place of integrity. Galen, how are you this morning? I always love seeing that you're here, Galen. I really do. Everybody, but there's a few people that I'm like, oh man, thank God she's here. Ian Wallace is one of those too. Good morning, Ian. How are you doing today? Tan Louis from Great Britain. I think all the people here that have been here from the beginning, I'm just always going to have a special place in my heart. Not like that I've grown to something that's huge and amazing and, taking over the world, but this is the beginning. And, if it takes off somewhere, we're all going to be like going, yeah, that was cool, man. It was rough in the beginning, but we came through it. Good morning, Ghostwriter 6611. How are you doing today? Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Caddy, Connie, and Loudmouth Linda. Yeah, that's my favorite because of my mom. And I already talked about that. Lest I digress again. Good morning, Boho Hobo. Her too. I've emailed with her too. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Heather Bird Lady. I don't have my glasses that can see like at a distance. I have my glasses to read and to tattoo, and they're kind of high def. So if you guys ever see me go like that, that's why. Good morning, Lisa White. How are you today? Laura May, how are you doing? My wife and I were talking about you last night, Laura May. I hope today you are doing well. Yo, yo. The world is mayhem, Galen. What a true statement. It's it could be the jungle show too, the morning jungle show, because the world is a jungle. I remember one time in prison, this guy came back. He left and he went to the halfway house and came back, and he was a native cat. He was cool. He had a little bit of snap to him, and we came back. I'm like, what happened? What happened, bro? And he just like came up to me with his head down. And he's like, it's a fast world out there, man. I just thought that was the best, dude. He's like, it's a fast world out there. And he's like, say no more, brother. Say no more. He probably relapsed and, hey, good morning, Sarah Paisley. He probably relapsed and, got in a bunch of trouble, hanging out with the wrong people, probably hooked up with his old friends and his family members that are still using. And if you don't stay sober, if you don't figure it out, you will spend your entire life going in and out of prison, because just to not be sober, you're committing a felony every single day. Do you know what I mean? I mean, let's say it's alcohol, but you know what I mean? If you're an addict, a drug addict, you're committing a felony every day. So you will eventually go back to prison or jail or whatever, state jail felony in Texas, or, it is what that is. You know what I want to do? I want to get my banner rolling. Got to get the banner rolling. I do have Hazley again today. She's in the other room. We made her a little fort. For Christmas, I got her these cushions that you can make into a fort, and it's pretty badass. It's pretty badass. So yeah. Hey, good morning, Mother Bird. How are you today? Good to see you. Good morning, my other's keeper. Howdy all. Let's have a great show. Then I couldn't have said it better myself. And I love your avatar. I love that. I got the old cup back out. I realize that every time I'm drinking out of this particular coffee cup, I usually have a good show. And that's all I want. That's all I want is a good show. No drama. So good morning, Kathy Wood. And I have been emailing Knife Hoarder. We had some conversations, and I respect him and what he's doing, and he respects me and what I'm doing. He doesn't agree with everything I say, and I don't agree with everything that he's doing. Or saying. I agree with what he's doing. I don't agree with everything that he says. And we can both respect that. But stay tuned, right? That's all I got to say. Stay tuned. Good morning, Kathy Wood. How are you doing? Here you're fine. Good morning, Aunt Lindy again. Good morning, Toby Sprosty. Toby Sprosty. I love that. I don't know why I love it, but I love it. Good morning, Teresa Clay. Good morning, Noel. Good morning, Diane Reese. Good morning, Danielle McCoy. Good morning, Janice Gilmore. Good morning, Dennis. Dennis S.A. So San Antonio? Is that what I'm seeing or thinking? Because that's what we usually do, right? We put like our town or our country, or I guess it could be, I don't know what it is. Yes, love to everyone, James Collins. Thank you. Keep it simple. Yes, Galen, absolutely. Keep it simple. Pam Pawar, I hope I'm saying that right. Good morning to you. And let's just get going with the show. Good morning, Elizabeth Whitney. Good morning, Teresa Clay. I think I already said it. Joanne Hurls, I have not said that. Good morning to you. How are you doing? Just do me. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do me. That's all I can do. Because if I'm doing somebody else or something else, then it just comes off as not what? Authentic. I do like being silly. I like doing funny voices. I like acting a fool, in an appropriate way. I love to please God, and I love my country. And I am not a staunch Trump supporter, although I voted for him. You know what I mean? He was the best option. And I couldn't even tell you why I'm not like, I wouldn't say like, I would fly flag, although I do wear his hat, because I know we needed him in office. Some people might disagree with that. But man, can we just agree to disagree? There are some left-leaning things that I really like. I've been on food stamps before. Not that that's only left, but you know what I mean? I was, who was I talking? Oh, I was talking to my brother 3 days ago. And he was like, dude, it's crazy that you're on YouTube, and I'm like, yeah. He's like, do you remember you were homeless just a few years ago? He goes, it seemed like yesterday, and I had frostbite on my feet. And yeah, that was just a couple years, and now, or a few years ago, a while ago. Now I have a new daughter, a new wife. I've had I've opened up 3 tattoo shops since then. Life's a trip. But the tattooing industry right now is garbage. It's straight garbage. It is. I'm going to start the questions. So, Ian, I got your questions started. If I missed any, I'll try to get back to it. Yeah, tattooing is super slow right now for everybody. I've talked to tattoo artists in Spain. I've talked guys who I've been to conventions with, that I've competed against. I've talked to tattoo artists here locally, California, Vegas, Arizona, Florida, Oregon, and everyone's just scratching their head going, what the F? I have a friend who charges $3,000 a day to tattoo. Can you believe that? But he tattoos in a community that can afford it. I guess you know, but he's kind of like developed like this weird thing. He makes his apprentices shave their head. He makes them get in a cold bath in the mornings. Listen to this. His girlfriend, I don't think they were married at the time. They're married now, but when it was his girlfriend, she was doing a photo shoot. This is going to blow your mind. She was doing a photo shoot with people with like tattoos, pinup girls and things like that. And she had somebody like going like this or something. This is gonna blow your mind. And her hand, no, she was doing that, and her hand got clipped from a plane that crashed. What? Right? What the hell, man? Yeah, she had a cast for the longest time. She literally got her hand destroyed from a plane that crashed where she was doing a photo shoot. That's so nuts, man. But anyway, yeah, pretty crazy. Is Jane in? I see someone saying hi, Jane. Hi, Jane. How are you today? It's good to see you. If that's you, Jane Aldrich. Nat B from Canada. Good morning. How are you? Comment. I'm gonna star that comment. Jamie Palmer. Yeah, let's just start this. Let's just show this. Jamie Palmer, comment. I totally get that. My mom always told me I should make a career in writing. I was always sure it would be a hobby, but I started my blog almost 2 years ago, slowly working on making a living. Yeah, that's badass. I tried to start a blog on my clothing. I started a clothing line called Tat Swag, and I've showed you guys all those designs that I did. They're like Jesus on a skateboard, Jesus as a big time wrestler doing the patented elbow, pray for us sinners, sinners never sleep. Those kind of designs on t-shirts. And I was my clothing line was called Tat Swag. And I had this website up, I did all the HTML for the website because I geek out on that stuff. And I wasn't selling shirts, and it cost me $49 a month to keep it up and running with Shopify. And I just didn't sell shirts. I just didn't sell them. And, I tried to sell shirts and get that rolling. I thought that was going to be my retirement. Lo and behold, I start YouTube, and now I'm talking to you guys. And the way God works, he just, manipulates and crosses paths and removes and replaces and inserts and deletes. And life's a trip. Life's a trip, man. And in the end, we just pray that everyone is okay and does okay. And then I mean everyone, right? You pray for heart change. You pray for the Holy Spirit. You just pray for it all. You pray for God's light that we're a spark of to shine that spark a little bit brighter. But anyways, let's get to a little bit of those. Did you guys see Trump's address last night at the Capitol? Everybody put a 1 in the chat if you've seen it. I have so many tabs open. Let's see. Let's look for old Donaldo. I was I don't think, I know it gets a little, if you see like those old timey like government things, or especially like in England, like a parliament, you see like one side, raising pamphlets and screaming here, aye, and doing all that. It really kind of takes you back to like how it all began, right? Like how it was just a bunch of guys arguing on what they think our government should be. And I talked to sorry, I'm just trying to find like a highlight thing. That way we're not like having to watch a bunch of Trump. But they all argued like what they thought our government should be. And that, at one point I asked a pastor one time, and he was my mentor at the time too. And I asked him, I was like, our government asks us to do things that, aren't biblical, or aren't, or like, the government's got their foot on my neck, and they say I can't do this and I can't do that. and it what they're saying I can't do is not a sin, right? Um, so if it's not a sin, then why can't I do it? And this is what he told me, and it was simple. And I with this one explanation, I was like, yeah. And in the Bible and in other teachings with other religions, and I'm not always trying to be safe, although it might sound like that. But I want you guys to know, like, I'm not just always trying to be safe to not offend or push people away or to keep certain people in. This is truly how I believe. Like, I think safely, like in my general, the way I think generally, because I want to be safe. I don't want to be led astray from some false ideology. I don't want to end up in a cult. I don't want to uh, I don't want to fill my void with something that isn't right and true, right? So I think safely. So when I say, what was I talking about? When I say, oh, yeah, the Bible doesn't say this, but and also it says in other teachings, I don't say that to not be like, I'm a Christian, and if you're not a Christian, then go to hell, or to say like, yeah, I'm a Christian, but I also believe in your belief, and I also believe in your belief. No, I'm saying no. I believe Jesus died for my sins, and I believe in the resurrection. Period. But I also believe in reincarnation. Like, I know that to be true because of Dr. Brian Weiss and all the things that he's done with past life regressions, right? So there's no faking that. There's no faking that. And a guy doesn't quit his job at Harvard as the head of the psychology department. Quit your job to go to hospices to comfort people that are dying by letting them know this is what's going to happen. You're going to go to a spirit plane, and you're going to have spirit guides, which are your guardian angels, and that's all going to happen. And I did at the end of one of the Morning Mayhem shows, I talked about that. Tommy bounced, and I talked about my the way my spirit guide guided me to this book that changed my life, right? Hands down, changed my life more than the Bible has. This little tiny book. If you could only read, but the Bible's keeping me alive. So I'm not saying this book changed my life, but this book led me to so I could understand the Bible more. And it's not a Judeo-Christian book. It's not a book that praises God, not even a little bit. It's a book that talks about reincarnation and why this guy believes it to be true. So, having said that, I know all these things to be true. What got me started on Christianity? I can't remember. Fuck. Right. There's the F word. It's so funny. Like, I can say the F word and I get convicted about it a little bit, but when I hear other people use it, especially when it's every other word, the F word just sounds like an explosion to me. It's just like boom, boom, F this, F that, F that. And I'm just like, That's how I know there's a Holy Spirit, because I used to use the F word like a bam, bam, hey, Buck, F you, yeah, let's go get some effing hamburgers. Now it's like an explosion, bam, bam, bam. And if there's like a change like that in you, something's different, right? Something's different. So anyway, back to politics. So I'm just going to go from religion to politics, like the two biggest things no one should talk about, right? Go from like, you start talking about politics, you lose 50 viewers. You start talking about religion, you lose the other 50 viewers. Then new people come in. What's this fool talking about? Oh, religion and politics, bam, bam, bam. Stay, come, go. Praise God, hate God. I don't know. And life's a trip. YouTube's a trip. But we're all figuring out as we go. And anyways, so Trump was talking last night, and it was really divided. Did you see all the women in pink? I don't necessarily know what they were there for. They all had signs though that said either stop. What were the signs? They were like stop Musk or false. So I probably Yeah, thanks, Janice Gilmore. Exactly. Um, she said she's a baby Christian. She understands. Yeah. Um, so I guess whenever Trump would say something they didn't believe to be true, fake news, fake news, fake news, they would hold up their false sign. And if they were talking about, all the great things that Doge has done, then they hold up the, Musk is a thief sign, or stop Musk, or Musk is stealing, or something like that. Yeah, you're my friend. Yeah, exactly. Let's just like live by this. Sam, Jamie Palmer says, who I'm just gonna call my brother because my brother's Jamie Palmer. That'd be great if my brother Jamie Palmer was in here. But Sam, you can talk about what you want to talk about. I love to agree to disagree. If you're my friend, you're my friend. I don't care what you believe. Exactly. And the only time it gets weird and you're like, okay, no, I'm gonna disagree with you trying to change my ideology with some ideology that I'm like refusing. Like, I'd love to hear about it because maybe you will change it, or maybe I will like a little bit of something about that. That's the beauty of it all. That's why we have to have free speech, so we can eventually land at the truth, right? Eventually we'll land at the truth, 2 million years from now. Like, what's real, what's not real? Are we just a part of some matrix? And I haven't even seen the movie The Matrix, but what's his name? That Anderson guy. Is it Anderson or Andrew Peterson? Not Andrew Peterson. Is it Andrew Peterson? The guy who always talks about the Matrix. He's like super alpha male guy. He'd be super alpha male till he got to prison. And then he'd be one of the fellas, but he'd stand down because there's some killers in there. And he's not a killer. He's like half a creep, right? Because he does all the OnlyFans stuff. That's half a creep. Like the Jack Doherty, that weirdo. You guys are probably like, I don't know who any of those people are. Hey, Russ, I'm going to make you a wrench right this second. I was waiting for you to come on. As moderator, and you are a managing moderator, Russ Allen. Because that's my Russ, right? From Night Yard, I believe so. And then either tomorrow or the next day, we're me and the moderators are all going to talk and just bullshit around and just kind of figure out how we're going to do it, because hopefully it gets crazy. Like the other day when it was going all super crazy, hopefully it is always like that. And then we can have an interesting show. But I want to tell you guys, in my heart of hearts, I like it where it's at now. But, I want it to make money so I can, pay the rent. That's the goal. And the goal to have a community. But if I can't pay my rent, then I can't have this community and be a part of it with a voice, like a loud voice here on the screen, and talk about, because I do believe God put me through what he put me through last year to be a part of this community as a voice, as a loud voice, because I got some things to say. I surely do. And I love the news and politics and religion. And so that's what this will all kind of be about, with recovery first. And I don't say that to appease the lifeboaters. I say that to let the lifeboaters know, man, you're in a safe place. You're in a safe place, because since I've been a part of this community and joined it and have been on the screen and talking, my wife will tell you, she's like, we haven't been in an argument since I've started YouTube. We really haven't. We're both so much more reasonable, or since I've started this channel. For some reason, my love cup is filled to where I can be more understanding and reasonable with my wife. Go figure that, right? So, and my therapist says, well, keep doing it. If you're having success, success with like, marriage, like we were just in marriage counseling. My truck was almost packed to go, and we were gonna like try to fix the marriage, in 2 different dwellings. That was like 7 months ago, 8 months ago, and I feel like we're doing better than we ever have. So that's pretty awesome. So anyways, let's check out and see what is going on. I haven't seen this. It just says President Trump's speech to Congress
start to his second administration while foreshadowing more big changes to come.
But those unhappy with those changes were loud as well. The president briefly had to halt his address to a joint session of Congress as a Democrat protest erupted in the chamber.
Chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Democratic Congressman Al Green from Houston refused multiple warnings to sit down and stop interrupting just minutes into the speech. It was one of several visible signs of dissent from Democrats. Fox 4's Casey Stiegel in studio now with the moments and key comments also from the president. Man. Casey.
Yeah, Steve, Heather, President Trump spoke for about 1 hour and 40 minutes in the House chamber tonight. It felt like a State of the Union address, but it technically was not called that since the president has not been in office for a full year. The last time he addressed joint sessions of Congress in this way was 2020 during his first term when Nancy Pelosi famously ripped up his speech behind him after it was all over. Now tonight, President Trump spent a fair amount of time doing victory laps, and as expected, he placed blame for many of the issues that Americans are facing at the feet of his predecessor, Joe Biden. From the price of eggs to crime in U.S. cities, the president touted his nearly 100 executive orders and more than 400 executive actions, as well as being the catalyst for what he called restoring common sense.
With the egg prices, we're all feeling that. How crazy. I've never even thought about the price of eggs, but we're all feeling the eggs, man. Usually we buy like the 4 rack, of 18. And hey, good morning, Jason P. How's it going today? Good morning, Danette. Good morning, Davey. Anyways, with the eggs, and I went to grab them, and my wife's friend, she was with me, and she's like, "You're gonna pay $40 for eggs?" And I was like, "What?" I looked down, and the little sticker, Albertson, Safeway, whatever, Smith, and it said $39. I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, "No, I'm just gonna get this little." Do you guys have a 4-pack? We all only get 1 egg tonight. Man, it was crazy. Of course, I bought, an 18-pack. But what I'm saying is, I didn't know that. But Trump, he had the gall to say, like, during that, and if I'm remembering it correctly, he was just like, and the price of eggs, that's all he really said, I think. And he was just like, fix that. Who's he telling to fix it? It's your fault, dude. Right? It's someone's fault. All right, let's watch it. Maybe I misheard what he said. We're going to find out.
Safety, optimism, and wealth to the country. He spent less time addressing measures passed through Congress that, while may be more difficult, they're more likely to last beyond his administration.
6 weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country.
The president also spoke a great deal on the rising cost of living for Americans. Inflation. Mr. Trump insisted that he's combating that with cuts to the federal workforce, laying off thousands of those probationary federal employees. Many of those actions, as we know, have faced legal challenges, and the Trump administration has acknowledged there has been some collateral damages, mistakenly having a negative impact on critical programs. The president lauded the work of Elon Musk, the newly appointed head of Doge, DOGE, or the Department of Government Efficiency, while also warning of unelected bureaucrats. Mr. Trump went through a very long list of waste that he says has been uncovered by DOGE, including several claims that lacked context. Even some of his own officials have contradicted.
We're going to find out where that money's going, and it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American families.
So, wow, look at that. Let's see what this is real quick.
The president spoke a lot about foreign trade from the podium tonight after he enacted new tariffs just today.
So, a lot of people have a lot to say about the tariff thing, right? That, the tariffs are creating me because it becomes a tariff war. This is nothing new. Like, there have been tariff wars since like the Boston Tea Party, right? And I'm no historian on the government, but I went to school. I went to grade school. I had a history book. We read what we were fed. And there's a lot of debate around what our books, how accurate our books were. But the tariff wars that's nothing new, and I have to just trust. Like, man, I shouldn't say trust, but I just have to believe that there's smarter people than me who think that this tariff war is a good idea. I don't think that the president and like the people around him, but I mean, they are kind of yes men, and that kind of blows, I think to an extent, but that there's smarter people than we can understand what the tariff war will actually do. And I do want to look into that more so I can try to understand it more, because at the face of it, it sounds shitty, but Mexico is bowing down to some things that we want to change, and the tariffs are going to be lifted eventually. There's like a give and take, and when he puts those tariffs on other countries, it doesn't all necessarily have to do with goods. It could be because, I think in one instance it was to like release some people that were like in jail or he's using it as bartering chips for other things. So, yeah. So I don't know. So like, we just have to let that play out. At the end of 4 years, I mean, regardless, we have to live with this president for the next 4 years. So let's make the best of it. Just like we come from a place of we try to have integrity and come from a place of love, not hate here. I'm just going to keep saying the thing I really don't want to say. I want to say it in a different way. Somebody please help me. Like, I don't want to chat GPT it. How can I say come from love, not hate in a different way? I want it to be, real and not, computer generated. So yeah, so hopefully I forgot my thought, but we're gonna listen to this a little bit more.
Mexico, Canada, and China. A 25% tariff was placed on goods coming into the United States from Canada and Mexico. He doubled the tariff on some imported products from China from 10% to 20%. Now, Canada and China have already enacted retaliatory tariffs on the U.S., with Mexico saying it plans to do the same as early as Sunday. President Trump did acknowledge, however, that tariffs may cause a few bumps in the road out of the gate.
Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be
so the deal is that, I mean, we might as well try it, because what we've been doing isn't working, right? I don't think it's been working for us. So we just have to give it a shot. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. We're going to be okay in the end. The next administration is going to come in, and it's just going to be this thing that we're all going to live with. We definitely want it to be better for our kids. And so let's try this. But Kim Watts says we need to be self-reliant. We cannot depend on the government to make everything better. That's on us. We are the people. We must stay united. Yes. Well said. Well said. We need to be self-reliant with oil, with our food supply, with everything. because I don't want to get too conspiratorial thinking about what an EMP could do to our country. The doomsdayers will say, one strategically placed EMP, electric magnetic pulse, will wipe out your car, our phones, our communications, our food supply, our electricity, our electrical grid, our warmth or coolness in our homes. It could just destroy us. And if we ever had to, be in a Walking Dead type situation, and hopefully everyone's seen like The Walking Dead or a little bit of it. The only reason why I've seen a little bit of The Walking Dead is because everyone in prison used to watch it. We don't want to end up as like cannibals, which I don't think would ever happen. And for me, in my belief system, I hope the rapture would come way before that. But I just know that we'll all be okay. The Bible says, like 300 over 300 times, do not have fear. That's really the and other religions, they don't want you to live in fear. They want you to have compassion. And I don't want to digress into a whole nother thing that I want to talk about how I've talked about karma and how you can the best way to clean up your karma. I'll talk about that here in a second. Well, I really don't know anything. Oh, I didn't even have that on the stage. I was sitting there watching that without you guys. My bad. All right. So anyway, let me get to the karma thing. We talked about this, like karma and fear and dying and death, and I know I'm switching subjects, pretty rapidly, but the best way, and Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama talked about this, the best way to sweep away like bad karma is to treat the people that you that rub you the wrong way. How when you meet someone, you'd be like, oh man, I vibe with that person like instantly. There's like our vibrations meet, or the Holy Spirit connects, or all of those things. But when you meet that person that's like a psychic vampire, that just like drains the room, it gives you a bad feeling. If you can, the more of those people that you can show compassion to and show love to, that like cleans up your karma. It's the fastest way to clean up your karma and to please God or please the light, the universe, the whole thing, the matrix. The universe loves that. It loves that. Because you're showing someone, because you're showing someone love that maybe hasn't received it. And maybe that's why they are who they are. One time when I was talking about earlier, when I was homeless for not that long. So it was maybe a month and a half. I was like literally homeless, walking the streets, and it was fall and it was starting to snow. And I got frostbite one night trying to walk towards the hospital because I knew my feet were in pain. And my second toes at the tips got frostbite, like black frostbite. But anyway, I went to this homeless shelter, and this security guard, like I get there, and there's a line of people. There's a line of people to get in there, and I wanted to make sure I was in the right place. I wanted to make sure it wasn't a food line. It was like some place to like sleep and be warm for the night. And the security guard comes up to me, and he was like this big dude with tattoos, bald head, probably making minimum wage doing the security job. And he came up to me and he's like, man, are you okay? Are you okay? Just like that. And I just lost it, man, because it was that random act of kindness that from a stranger, it felt so good. And I was so lost. And it was bizarre. It was the craziest feeling, and I just lost it. And I knew why I had lost it, because it was that random act from a complete stranger, was just asking like, "Hey man, are you okay?" And I was like, "No, man, I'm not okay." And that's one of my red flags, I guess you say, or I can say a trigger when I start, because I let him know that I wasn't okay. But when I start putting up that smoke screen, that's I'm sure a lot of us have either do it or have done it. When you start putting up a smoke screen that everything's okay when everything is not okay, and you don't let people in and you push people away, that's when I know I'm close to a relapse. When because I'm basically lying, right? Sorry, I think I froze up there for a second. I'm basically lying that, because when people ask you, "Hey, are you okay today?" They really want to hear that if you're okay today. I believe so, at least the people in my circle. And when I don't let them know that, I'm close to a relapse. I know I am, because I'm not letting people know I'm okay. And then if I'm not letting people know I'm okay, I'm not seeking help that way. I've already made a reservation to drink or use. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, a therapist told me that a long time ago. He's like, "Yeah, man," he's like, "You're a pro." And when I got handed off to a new therapist, he put that up. He in my treatment plan. That was like the first thing he told that other therapist: "Watch out for this guy, because he's going to tell you everything's okay." And we all do it. But if he's doing that and he's not okay, just know that he's really not okay. Because I like therapy. Therapy's helped me. Therapy saved my life. You know what I mean? So what's going on? Where are we at? So that's Trump, man. I think, he is a lot of bluster, but a lot of that he's got the right to. He won. He was mandated by us, and we're just going to have to see how it all pans out. We're just going to have to see how it all pans out. What have I started here? Oh, also, by the way, everybody, thank you so much. For I know the end of the stream yesterday got kind of a little wonky because I didn't know what was going on with the chat, and I was trying to figure it out. But thank you so much for the super chats. Those were amazing. I didn't even know I got them. Because I kind of have tunnel vision on looking at me. But I will start checking those and giving the shout outs. Thank you so much for those. Those are amazing. When I see them, because it's so new to me to get those, it kind of lets me know that I'm doing something right. From a penny to $10, whatever, it lets me know. Because when I give a super chat to someone, I'm like telling them, "Hey, badass," and I know when they don't tell me like thank you, I kind of get a little like, not that I'm looking for recognition, but this is what it is. I'm like, "Oh, okay, fine. See if I ever send you, $5 again." Human nature is a trip, right? Human nature is a trip. Just trying to be honest about it. So yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, James, I'll figure it out. And my therapist, she goes, let your audience know, because I do go have like manic phases where I think like right now, like I'm a little bit manicky. I do have little manic phases, and I just want you to know that's not like me high or anything like that. I get them, and hopefully I don't get a real, low down. I haven't had one in a long time, and I think this community has been a part of that. But even before that, I haven't had one in a long time, like a super low. It's because I do go to therapy, and I'm not ashamed to say it. Yeah, it's just growing pains. Right, Nat B? And good morning. How are you today? It's just growing pains. Please smash that like button. Yes, thank you, Brother. Please smash that like button. It helps the algorithm. It helps the channel. If anyone can do anything for me, just like hit that like button. That really, really helps the channel. Like more than $5 would. It just helps it. It just helps it. It pushes it out there. I mean, we hope that. We hope that. Did I see that Ben Shapiro wants to try to pardon Derek Chauvin for his federal crimes? I did not see that. I did not see that. I definitely want to take a look at that. That's very interesting. I need to make a note of that. Oh, Hazley took my pen. Oh, you remember yesterday I was looking for my goat? Remember I said, Hazley. She had it. She had it in her little fort. She does that on purpose. Of course, I don't get mad at her about it, but I was like, leave my goat alone. I'm going to have to get her own goat. I think that's what it is. I'm going to have to get her own goat. Oh, man. Anyways, you know what I want to find? I want to find this letter. For those of you that have been with me for a while, I told you guys that I wrote this letter on manipulation. I think it's because Tommy was being accused of being manipulative. This was before we even had a falling out. And I said, I was like, I recognize manipulation. Like, I know what real manipulation looks like. And I was in treatment and they made me write there was a workbook, I don't know if anyone's ever been in treatment, but in treatment, they give you these workbooks. Here, I need to type this in real quick and find this thing. Because I wrote it a long, long time ago, way before manipulation essay. I wrote this in 4/22/21. This is way before whatchamacallit? ChatGPT. If I was to read this now, if someone read this to me, it's so hard, man. It's so hard because you don't really know what's real and what's not real anymore, right? But I think I'm going to share this with you guys. So we had this workbook, and it had a manipulation little thing. It's like, okay, Thursday we're going to talk about manipulation, and the very first one said, what did it say? It was like, have you ever manipulated your family? Ask them to lie for you. If the police came looking for you, would you ask your family to lie for you? Or would you ask, your wife not to tell your parents that you were using? And that was the gist of the manipulation. And I'm thinking to myself, and I've been sober for a long time by this time in treatment. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, that's not the kind of manipulation I do. I feel like there's this autopilot manipulation that addicts do that's unrecognizable, except to people that have recognized their own manipulation and can be honest about it, and they can see that in others. But this kind of manipulation is you can't really see because you don't know for sure, right? You don't know, man, is this coming from true love, and is what he doing? Is he doing with integrity and not trying to manipulate those people around him or his wife or his girlfriend? So I wrote this paper, and I'm going to read it. And I haven't read it in a long time, so I hope it doesn't put me on blast. But I'm just going to keep it real and honest. And I promise that to you guys, right? To keep it real, keep it honest. And so I'm going to blow it up a little bit, and so I'm going to read this to you guys. Hopefully this isn't boring everybody, but I'm going to read this letter on manipulation. And this is how I felt as an addict I manipulated. So manipulation by me. While writing this assignment, I realized a few things. I am a highly skilled manipulator who is on autopilot and has been for 47 years. Wow, I wrote that a long time. I'm 56 now. Or maybe I didn't talk about the first 10 years of my life. That must be what I meant when I wrote this. for 47 years, and honestly, it has served me well. I'm not the kind of abusive gaslighter manipulator that leaves you in fear. No, I manipulate as Mr. Nice Guy. Ooh, this is heavy. Maybe I shouldn't share this with you guys. For real. I manipulate as Mr. Nice Guy. Also, I can control others by telling you simply that I'm fine. Well, I just talked about that. This must have been right when I had discovered that that's how I manipulate, that I'm fine, and that, you know, that's like one of my red flags when I'm like getting close to using. So that I'm fine when I'm actually depressed, full of shame, constantly running away from my many missteps. So technically a form of manipulation because it controls your perceptions of me and reactions to me. So I'm going to read that again. I can control others by telling you simply that I'm fine when I'm actually depressed, full of shame, and constantly running away from my many missteps. So technically a form of manipulation because it controls your perceptions of me and reactions to me. This might be starting to sound kind of familiar. Okay, I manipulate others often because I feel the need to control my environment and surroundings, an urge that often stems from deep-seated fear and or anxiety. I know it's not healthy. I have discovered at True North, that was the treatment center I was at True North, that I fear people will discover I'm a fraud. And I think that a lifetime of engaging in manipulation has prevented me from connecting with my authentic self. And I think it took about a year after this that I really connected with my authentic self. I remember the revelation. It was the same day I realized I never have to go back to prison. I never have to pick up and use again and to fill some weird void that I have in myself. This was all around the same time. It was when I finally grieved my wife after 22 years of self-indulging grief, of grieving my wife. And thanks for the super chats, guys. I'm going to shout you out when closer to the end of the show, but thank you so much. I hope that wasn't a manipulating thing. I just know I appreciate it and I could use it. I am with my authentic self. I am a people pleaser, Mr. fucking nice guy. My people pleasing can be manipulative. I'll be helpful and do a lot of favors for people. It's automatic and it might be confusing because the other person doesn't realize what I'm doing or anything that negative is going on. And it's not that there is always strings attached, because mostly there isn't, but I always know I'll have a downtime when I'll need help. That's really interesting. That like I'll help others. Like I've tattooed people for free, people I've just met, because they'll tell me like, oh yeah, I was a cutter and I want to cover this. And I'll be like, okay, I'll do it. Now I do that out of the kindness of my heart. But if I do that and then I put a bunch of posts on Facebook about it and Instagram and now YouTube, then that's where they manipulate. Look at me. I help this person with her cutting because I covered scars with a beautiful sunflower, and now she feels better and she's, moves on with life. Now, like if I do that with the way I just said, I believe I'm manipulating that way. Yeah, you want to advertise yourself, but I think there's certain things that maybe you just don't have to advertise. But that's how like I can be Mr. Nice Guy and the people pleasing. Those are the things I do. I'll sabotage it all at some point, and then I can cash in on favors, though I don't count them. I do know I have them in the bank for future withdrawal. I don't consciously do this. It's only when I play the tape back do I realize that it happened. But now writing it down, it seems that that's what friends do for one another. So I think that's really is what friends do for one another. I have friends in my life right now that I do that with. My friend Jack is an example. Where am I at? I know I do it because I know I do it, but clean and sober, it seems more pure and not a bad thing. So I was realizing what I just said, that it's not always a bad thing, although sometimes I felt like it was bad. Like, oh, I just cashed in on a good deed that I did for someone, and that wasn't the original reason why I did that. I hope what I'm saying isn't convoluted. I'm trying to be articulate and be as succinct as possible. Also, I manipulate by having lousy boundaries. I'm either too rigid or too enmeshed. I can confuse you and myself in some situations where I end and you, the other person, begins. I have my own volitional experience as a human, and by manipulating, I can take away your volition and make it mine, convincing you that it's yours by enmeshing ourselves, by taking away the healthy boundaries that we all should have in our personal and interpersonal relationships. I can also play the victim and make you feel guilty and make you feel responsible for helping me. I'll manipulate you to do whatever you can to stop my suffering, no matter how big or small. I'll even get you to question yourself, your reality, memories, and your thoughts. I'll hijack conversations to make you feel you've done something wrong, or at least make you unsure if you have or not. I won't outright blame you because I need you to like me. That's always been my thing. I need you, but I'll plant seeds of doubt, then praise you when it seems like the solution was your idea. Again, this is all automatic and on autopilot. So sometimes my manipulation can be so pervasive that it causes the other person to question their perception of reality. I'll subtly manipulate you until you no longer trust your own perceptions, and then I'll covertly turn down the manipulation and convince you the dimming light was all in your head. Now, this all seems heavy. Like I was newly sober and clean. Like maybe I had maybe 7 months, so that was a lot of clean time for me. But newly, like with a clear head, so I was probably working some things out in this letter. So while identifying the ways I manipulate, I'm discovering what underlying issues are causing my behavior. I'm understanding why my behavior is unhealthy for myself. Here comes the treatment part, right? Where now I'm talking to the group and to the facilitator of the group. While identifying the ways I manipulate, I'm discovering what underlying issues are causing my behavior. I'm understanding why my behavior is unhealthy for myself and those around me. While in treatment, in groups, and one-on-one therapy, I'm learning skills for interacting with others while respecting their boundaries and addressing the underlying insecurities that may be contributing to my behavior. I don't need to be in control or the smartest guy in the room. Sometimes I inadvertently manipulate the other in order to avoid, in order to avoid confrontation or even an attempt to keep someone else from feeling burdened. So I'll work on my codependency and my people-pleasing in conjunction with all I do that is manipulation. I literally got a standing ovation in group for that letter to manipulation. I don't know how many people have been in treatment or have had to write papers on manipulation or things that they do. But they're heavy. They're super heavy. And man, you want to be a con man, take notes. Right? I totally, you're right. That's so like, I believe we all just witnessed all of that with this past situation, right? And I'm not trying to talk about that. But I think that's all part of that. And I'm telling you, that last session in treatment when I was at True North, I had so many revelations. Man, I was becoming an old man, and I was tired of using, tired of drinking, tired of being that guy, right? I didn't become that guy till I was 30. I'm sure I was that guy before I became an addict or realized that I was an addict. I'm sure there was other things that I had addiction traits. I was a workaholic through and through. Nobody worked more than me at AT&T or Microsoft. I was there 24/7. And even at home, I had my own network. This is before a Wi-Fi routers were in your house. I had my own peer-to-peer network. It was nuts. It was nuts. So anyways, I thought that was funny. Anyone from Finland in the chat? That would be awesome. Okay, let's not talk about all these heavy things. There's the recovery portion of our day today. In recovery today, inspiring stories, real struggles, and the many paths to redemption. Share your journey and be a part of the conversation. I do want to do that on occasion. And then if there's people that have something that's affecting them, and they can use this space as like their sponsor or an AA meeting or whatever they need to use it for, we will stop what we're doing to help them. But let's move on with the show. Yada, yada, yada. Right? Okay, I don't know. Did you guys hear about that recording? So there was this on Freakonomics, they were supposed to have an interview with Justin Baldoni's with the guy what was his name? Ari Emanuel. They're supposed to have this interview with him for Freakonomics. It's a podcast. They did the whole interview. No one hit record. Okay. In the entire history of Freakonomics, no one hit record for probably the most important interview they've ever done with regarding pop culture. We don't want to say it's the most important interview that they've ever done or will ever do, but basically here's the story. Hollywood super agent to the stars and the mysteriously vanished podcast interview that somehow miraculously never got recorded. That's right. One of the most powerful voices in the entertainment industry went on Freakonomics and openly trashed Justin Baldoni, who he called baloney, while fiercely defending Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. But when it was time for that interview to air, poof, no audio, no video, no record, like it had never happened, except it did. So this is the guy that fired Justin Baldoni on Blake Lively and what's his name's word. Now I get it. Friends help friends. I've done it. I'm sure you guys have done it. You help friends blindly with that blind loyalty. We just talked about it on Saturday. I talked about it with my little animation that I did of me coming out, hey guys. I did that animation, first of all, because I wanted to show you guys I could do it. I have like this badass program that I can do like all kinds of cool animations like that. I can do bobbleheads, like not like the template driven ones that you can get an app for, but like I can do like bobblehead videos and cool animation videos with little characters and everything. And they take a long time to do, but they're really cool and I love doing them. Thanks, Jen. I appreciate that. Yeah, I love doing those. I used to do them for my I'm gonna star your message, Kim Watts, for Appless for Appless. I love doing those. They do take a long time. I'm talking hours and hours. That one took me a long time. I'm gonna say that probably took me 6 hours to do that. Sorry about my dry mouth, guys. Probably took me 6 hours to do that. Hold on real quick. Seeing if Hazley can bring me a water. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so that's the guy who did that. I was talking about blind loyalty. So he had blind loyalty to these guys. He thought when truly Wayfair and Baldoni would have brought his company a lot of money. It's the William Morris Agency. It's the biggest talent booking agency hands down in the world. I've lived close to their office before when I lived in Hollywood. And hands down the biggest. Anyway, he did it with blind loyalty. And I think it's going to come back and bite him in the butt. You know, he will always be okay. And I think this is also the brother of Obama's old chief of staff, Rahm Emanuel. I think this is his brother. So he will always be okay. And he's pretty much F that dude, F that guy. But there is a video. And so like, I didn't want to like do the whole transcript. So I just kind of did the transcript and and spit out like a summary of it. So thanks to thank you so much, honey. Look at this. Look at this. Say hi. High five. Thanks, babe. Thanks, honey. I love her so much. So anyway, she's in there. I said, I love you. Oh, okay. She goes, I heard that. Like I said something bad. Well, I oughta. So anyway, he'll always be okay. So let's just go to the gist of what it said. I was going to play the audio, but it's really hard to hear. It's really hard to hear. So because thanks to some sharp journalists in the room, we now have the leaked audio of the conversation. And what it reveals, well, it paints a pretty clear picture of how Hollywood players operate when it comes to protecting their golden clients. Ari Emanuel admitted he fired Baldoni, who was one of his own clients, because, well, Blake and Ryan just wanted him to. No due process. We already knew all this, though. I mean, we already know it looked that way. No due process, no waiting for facts, just he's out. Now, that's not in the court of law. That's the loyalty of pledge to Hollywood's elite. Meanwhile, the same agent hasn't cut ties with Diddy, who's, let's be honest, has way bigger controversy circling around him. Tommy already talked about that, all that. He knew that. I mean, the whole world knew that, you know. He knew that before anyone was really even talking about it. But on the face of it, it was pretty obvious. And the hypocrisy, it gets worse. Ari in his leaked audio says if Baldoni did things he's accused of, then he's a bad guy. If that's the key word, because guess what? That's the whole point of the legal process. If that's what the court is supposed to decide, but that didn't stop Ari from ending Baldoni's career in real time. Now, do I think he's ended Baldoni's career? No, not even close. Not even close, because he didn't do those things, right? It's going to come out that he didn't do those things. Blake Lively's a liar. So is old boy, who I used to have a bromance, you know what I mean? That was, he's one of those guys. I'd love to have a beer with that dude, with Ryan Reynolds. He was one of those dudes. But you know what? It is too much. That little sarcastic attitude, like the whole Deadpool thing. If that's really you, brother, not that he would ever see my podcast, but if that's really you, brother, you're a piece of shit, man. You're a piece of shit. Yeah, you're a con man. You know, like acting like that's hiding something else. That's his smoke screen in his wall of what's really going on with him inside. But you know, he's conned the world that he's a great actor, that he's funny, charming, cute, whatever. He's conned the world. But the real kicker here is that the most damning interview of Ari Emanuel's career is the only one Freakonomic's 15-year history that didn't get recorded. Really? That's the story they're sticking with. No backup, no secondary recording, no safety net. Either they're covering for someone or they just ran the sloppiest production in the history of podcasts. I totally agree with that. Not agree with it. I generated this. So it's not, I'm not agreeing with anyone. I generated this I took all my notes, took parts of the transcript, threw it in the chat and told them hey, give me a summary of this so I can read it to my morning show. I'm agreeing I do that. So or admitting I do that. At the end of the day, this isn't just about Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively, or Ryan Reynolds. This is about power. This is about influence. This is about who gets protected in Hollywood and who gets thrown to the wolves. And now, thanks to his leaked audio, we have proof of that. And that's what I'm getting at, right? Really, I could have just came out and said, yeah, hey, did you guys know there's proof of what Tommy was talking about all last week or all the week before? Yeah, now there's actually proof. But everyone knew, Tommy wasn't the only one. You know, Tommy probably saw something else of somebody, talking about the same thing and just went with it. That's what we do. We get information, reference, and go with it. We are reaction news channels, right? I am. I'm reacting to the news. I'm not a journalist. I'm reacting to the news with my community of a bunch of people that are good, loving people that believe in something greater than ourselves and that want to stay clean and sober and have a good time on YouTube, right? And watch a crazy, animal trick at the end of the show. This is about Justin Baldoni. This is about the influence of this. What do you think? Was this all unfortunate accident, or was this another case of Hollywood covering it up? It's another case of Hollywood covering it up. Freakonomics is guilty. They have to be. They have to be, right? There's no way that didn't happen. What else am I trying to run with? Judge criticized lively subpoenas. Yeah, remember how I read the last week? It might even been with Tommy. I went and got the amended lawsuit, and I got it so Tommy could look at it and comment on it. We had found that she is subpoenaing new people. The judge is like, no, you're not subpoenaing those people. The criticized a federal judge in Manhattan labeled Blake Lively's subpoenas for Justin Baldoni's phone records as overly intrusive and disproportionate. The judge noted that the requested records dating back to 2022 predated the alleged negative media campaign against Lively, which began in 2024, while the blanket request was denied. Lively's team can pursue more tailored requests. So, basically they're just trying to enhance their own smear campaign against old boy. Like, why would you want anything before that? It had nothing to do. He probably wasn't even talking about you except for, hey, it's cool, Blake's going to be in my movie. That's probably the only thing he said before the start of filming. It's got to be, right? Love is the answer, Aunt Lindy. In the background of this channel, I just want everyone hearing Kumbaya, right? That's what I want it to be. Kumbaya in our ears, Kumbaya in this year, and then move forward and we can have discussions coming from there. That could be maybe our catchphrase. Let's come from Kumbaya and not, F the world or something. And we can just be like, hey, if we see, hey, if someone in our community, and this goes with the chat, we're all here, right? If we're all here and we're talking and if we see people getting out and going above what the kumbaya is, let's help talk that person down and bring them back to the love. If they could be either up here or down there, and we can recognize that in each other and be like, say if Nat B from Canada starts, is upset about something either in her life or what I'm saying or something that's in the chat. Let's all together as a community bring her back to level, back to kumbaya, right? I think that sounds awesome to do. I try to do that in my relationship, especially my personal relationship. We try to instead of reacting poorly to what they're doing or saying to each other, right? Anyways. I hate that I'm looking at how many people are watching. Man, if there's 10 people in here, I'm happy, right? I'm happy. All right. So that's basically it with that. I know in the thumbnail, I said I was going to talk about Diddy. There's been some headlines that I think are going too far. That's what I put in the title and the thumbnail. I think they're going too far with all that, that he's worshiping the devil inside there. Let me just read this real quick. Diddy is facing serious allegations, career-ending, legacy-destroying, and frankly, life-altering. But when we start seeing reports about him summoning demons in his jail cell, making pacts with the devil, and dabbling in necromancy, that's when I got to hit the pause button. I do, because really the justice system is built on facts and the evidence of law, not ghost stories and sensationalism. If Diddy is guilty of the crimes he is accused of, then, I don't need to read this. We all know, if he's being accused of the crimes, then let's get him found guilty of that. I know you guys believe he's guilty of that stuff. He's guilty of it. There's too much smoke. There's too much smoke. Just like with old boy who just left. There's too much smoke. It has to be real. We have to live like that. Because we won't always be able to see one definitive proof. Yeah, we need to see the proof before we make a final decision, but we should also have the right to say, you know what, I'm going to back up from that with whatever proof that there is. And it just happened definitive proof came out on that. Definitive proof has come out on Diddy. He beat the heck out of what's her name, Cassie Ventura, live, and that was at a freak off. He came out running out in a towel. What's she running from when he's at a towel? Yeah, he could have been in the shower and that she's seen her window, but regardless, there's no way all those people are making that up. And that's all I really want to say about the Diddy Meister. What did I want to talk about? I remember mean people. Oh yeah, Blake Lively's co-star, what's his name? Brandon Skelton. Is that the guy's name? He's not even in that picture. You guys know who I'm talking about. Oh, I was going to have that up when I was talking about Ari Emanuel, but the other guy in the movie, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie, but the other love interest in that, his name's Brandon Skelnar, I think is how you say his name. When asked about all this, he said, it's a tough situation. I just hope everyone remembers what the movie is about and why we made it in the first place. It's about love. It's about supporting women in general and helping people through tough times. Totally agree, my brother. Just want people to remember what it's about, why we made it, and kind of keep it on that kind of like core ethos. You know what I mean? Absolutely. We absolutely want to keep it on that. But I think you're copping out onto what this woman, let's keep it about women. Let's keep it about Blake Lively and what she's trying to do to Justin Baldoni. We have to. She's trying to destroy Skelnar. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. She's trying to destroy this fool's life, man. And for all purposes, he was a good dude. He all his writing and his podcast before that, why would a guy go from present himself to that extreme and then in publicly, yeah, it's in a private set, but there's regular people around, not just him and a singular woman. Why would he publicly be the exact opposite who he presents himself to be to the world? Common sense would tell you that that's not what happened. It's common sense, right? It's strictly common sense. Did you guys see my wife's podcast last night? How do you think those girls are doing? I think they're doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Kim Watts says, Sam, it feels like a lot of weird salad. I think she meant word salad to me. Yes, I think it feels like a lot of word salad. And it could be the way I'm reading it. Like if I'm not pausing on the commas, do you know what I mean? Like I'm kind of on go mode, so I'm like reading. So hopefully that's not why it feels like word salad, but that could be it. Because I understood it a little bit. But yeah, you're right. Not totally. So agreed. Word ensalada, as our friends down in Mexico would say. It's a word ensalada. Ensalada. Yeah, ensalada. Let's get to the chat. What's going on, guys? I'm gonna go down all the way to the bottom. Yeah, good morning, Russ. I gave her a little crap about her husband. You gave my wife crap about her husband? Oh wait, that's me. I know, she told me about it. Thanks, bro. Thanks, man. I'm just going to back up into the chat a little bit and see if I missed any questions. Hey, Anna Banana. Oh, thank you so much. I just seen what you said. Yeah, they are amazing. I talked about my wife yesterday. She's a trip, man. She's a trip. But she's got a lot of stuff, and I'm sure she'll talk about all of that if she hasn't already. Hey, Jane. Good to see you. I know you've been here because everyone was saying hi to you earlier. I'm just going to try to reverse up into the incognito at unknown. It's so important to do your own research, even when it comes to the people you support and claim to have your best interests at heart. That's right. That's right. That's what I said on Saturday. Especially if I'm creating content and if that content is being used for bad, right? So even but I just if that person's doing bad, or if I'm creating content that's bad and it's being used to, you know, reel people into something, I can't be a part of that, or be, or be like found guilty of that. You guys know what I mean. If we at Sam right now, they are saying there are no minor celebrities. Let's see. Right now, they are saying there are no minors or celebrities on those videos. I don't think there are minors on that video. I've never thought that there's minors in that video. I think OT Boy was kind of saying the same thing. I think he said the same thing. That I think people just use that to be sensationalized, right? Like, oh, he was just raping it. No one, you're not going to get a bunch of people to agree to there being minors. Well, I guess that's a false statement. I'm sorry, that's a false statement. There's been plenty of cases of multiple people R-wording a minor. So that, I guess what I meant, like a bunch of celebrities like in a room, like R-wording a minor, I guess that could happen too. And maybe it has. I don't know. Yeah. And I don't know. So Hazley and I today we're going to go buy paint for the new space I moved my tattoo shop into. I'm saving $1,000 a month. That is so awesome. And what's crazy is that the tattoo artist who moved out of this space was behind in his rent for 9 months. And they finally said, hey, you got to go. I love that for multiple reasons. If I ever get behind a month, they might be understanding, but I'm not trying to. I haven't been behind a month at this place, and that was $1,800 a month. But I did have a partner who was helping me with that. Can't find my vape. Oh, here it is. It's funny when I'm tattooing and I'm looking for this guy, it kind of like looks like like the new tattoo machines. So if it's standing up like on a shelf, my mind references it as a tattoo machine. So I'm always looking for it. And my customers are always going, isn't that it? I'm like, oh yeah, thanks. Found it. I really want to quit vaping, guys. I really do. I want to live long for Hazley. And so like, I really, seeing some prayers for Bless. Yes. Massive prayers for Bless. Actually, can we just get a 1 for Bless? She has just some stuff going on. I don't know if I'm at liberty to talk about. I don't know details either, but just the general stuff, and I don't know what she has said. But yeah, 1s and prayers for Bless if you have the heart to. I have always been a huge Snoop fan. Let's see what's going on here. I have always been a huge Snoop fan. I know he's probably involved. That stinks. Oh man, really? I guess he was hanging around that time, and he's really not saying anything about it, is he, Kim or Sassy? Is he even saying anything about it one way or another? I would like to know. I should look into that. If he's like, but that would be that would be a super bummer. Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel about that. It's funny, me and somebody else were talking about this the other day. Like, it might have been even me and Chase the Heat guy, and we were saying, yeah, I wasn't a fan of all this music from the 80s when it was the 80s, but now I'm a huge fan of, but I was a fan of everything in the 80s, but there was some music I wasn't a huge fan of. but definitely did not like hip hop when it was coming out. I for some reason I didn't like it. I was a surfer dude doing my thing, listen to new wave, listen to hairband music. I love Genesis and prog rock. Yes. Even when Genesis changed to more of a pop, good for them. They were trying to get paid, but yeah, if Snoop Dogg, that would be a bummer. It took me a long time to find that sound. It didn't come out like totally natural or organic. It's because I have too many sound clips. I tried to have a sound clip for everything and I never use them. Like this was for the lipo when its ship was sailing. We won't be needing that one. When somebody was talking, it was boring. No. I guess I could do that to myself and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm done talking about this. It's too snoring. But it's hard to talk, do funny sounds. You kind of need a producer to do that. I'm realizing that. And yeah, we're not going to be able to do that. But tomorrow, guess what day it is? Florida or Germany tomorrow, guys. Cannot wait. And also, all the t-shirts from last week, I'm going to try to get those made and sent out as soon as I can. I promise you. That's Babe's Breakdown. What other sounds effects do we have? We have this fail. I think I like that. Yeah, I like that one. All right. It's enough playing with those. Yeah, it'd be a bummer, man. And what else is going on in the Chizzy Chizat? Russ, do you take care of her out on your bike? Question. With the jail and lockdown, is that going to affect Diddy seeing his lawyers? Oh, yeah. We haven't talked about that. So, yeah, I guess that's where I was getting at with my story, but I just threw it to the side. So, yeah, the jail is on lockdown. There was a little, they locked down the whole building. So I'm not 100% sure that it's locked down because of something that happened in his unit. Most likely not. But there's a lot of stuff, gang violence going on in there. So who knows? It will affect him seeing his lawyers, but not for long. So what happens? They lock down, they secure the place, right? Then for a day or two, they do like an investigation. They see if they're going to go into complete lockdown mode to where like it's going to be like a few weeks, and then where everyone's getting styrofoam trays in their cell, no one comes out. They're actually feeding your meals through a cell. And then if his lawyers do come, he will be able to see his lawyers at some point, but definitely not as much access as he had before. Not even close. And they can cry all they want about, civil rights and the rights and the Constitution. Doesn't matter. The BOP will be like, take us to court. We are protecting this facility right now. We don't know what's going on. And they could say it potentially that his lawyers could get hurt, that Diddy could get hurt if anyone comes out. They can easily say that, and they would win that in a court of law. There's like fine print in the BOP's P&P, policy and procedure. There's fine print that says like if they can go into lockdown mode, it's like DEFCON 5, 4, that no one comes out. And so yeah, I hope that answers that. How far back do I want to get back to? Sorry if I missed your question, guys, because there's a lot of comments. I tried to mark some as I was talking. Yeah, Dead Cell. She is going to be a future YouTube star. I know. But we were talking about the other day, like, when do we do that? When's it appropriate? Do we bring your kid into this? I think if you're talking about controversial stuff, like to where you would get like haters, then it might be wise to not give any information about your family, right? Because you don't want them harmed. But if it's just light news, reaction to news, then I guess you can, like, I have her pop in and say hi. Everyone knows her first name. But yeah, and it's easy to find me. I have tattoo shops. I have, all kinds of things. So let me just back up a little bit. See what we're missing. Let's check out what I do have starred. Ian Wallace, what's the name of that? Black Judge, please love that guy. Oh, are you talking about Judge Simpson? Judge Simpson's amazing. He's super amazing. Oh yeah, we should check in on old boy, huh? Let's close this. Close that. Let's open another window. Let's see what Judge Fleischer's doing. Probably nothing. Yeah, nothing. It's so crazy. He does court totally different than everyone else. Comment. I totally get that. My mom always told me I should make a career in writing. Oh yeah, we already talked about that. Thanks, Jamie Palmer. Click Flux. Comment. I nearly got taken out by a hot air balloon. Life is wild. Yeah. I wonder, what were we talking about when you said that? Thank you so much, Mama Bear. Thank you so much. I live in Washington State and we love our neighbors in California. Yeah. I always feel like Washington is just, and you know what's crazy? And I think other people will agree with me about this. We kind of skip Oregon in a weird way. I feel like Oregon is its own country of sense. Like all my friends from Oregon, they have a different stilo, like a different get down, a different style. Like they're, the way they are. And like the people in Washington are more like Californians than people in Oregon. Me and my friend who's from Oregon, they call themselves Gones, I guess from Oregon. They call themselves Gones, and they are totally different. So you could be like, I don't know, but yeah, Washington, they are our brothers and sisters. The reason why I lost my thought there for a second, we might have a case. But we need to
remember. You probably do. And so I've been, Father.
Thanks again, Mama Bear.
Telling me I need to get this dismissed because of this and I'm like, okay, I'm trying. And
bring him here, and I'll talk to them.
I was going to say,
bring him here. Put him on the docket.
He's already PTI qualified.
Doesn't want PTI?
Well, I think part of the problem is Dad
pushing on it.
Is pushing this thing, and then he just listens to Dad and doesn't listen to me.
Okay, that's a problem. So why don't we, whatever day you want to do next? You want to do something next week?
Maybe next week.
Whatever day,
or in the next week or two, because I don't want to drag it out.
Yeah,
so
that's probably going to be a good case, a good hearing, because
hopefully Dad shows up.
I'm going to tell Dad to show up.
Okay,
because I think we have a plan on this.
Ooh, that's going to be good. I hope we catch that.
The state did subpoena his medical records, and I provided medical records, but I don't know that that's even going to make a difference. But just to CYA for me,
that's such a problem.
It's just like,
bring him in. We'll talk. Okay.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, that's going to be good. Hopefully we can catch that. Because if the judge is going to have to school the parent on what's best for the kid, it's going to be good. I mean, good for us to watch. Kim Moss says, when we walk in fear, we close the door to everything that is good right in front of us. We have to give gratitude for everything we have. Yes, I talk about gratitude all the time. You know what? I never thought to include that with when walking in fear, because I guess if we're practicing gratitude, I'll have to think about that some more. But it feels right what you just said, and it rings true in my heart. So, but we definitely have to give gratitude for everything we have, even if it's just a ramen soup. Sometimes we eat ramens. I have videos of Hazley smashing them on the ground like we do in jail. And, I chef them up all the different ways, for, and she enjoys that because it's something we can do together. And, I don't know. It's fun. It's fun for us. You see that Ben Shapiro? Yeah, I'm gonna definitely look into the Ben Shapiro thing. Galen, thank you so much. When can we start memberships so we can support you even better? I think memberships are there. They should be. Man, I thought memberships were turned on. If they're not, I will turn them on today. But yeah, I think I created like some cheap memberships, like $2, $4, $6, something like that. I can't remember. So if memberships aren't turned on, please let me know. And I appreciate that. I mean, oh God, that's awesome. Thank you, Ian, for we need memberships. What is going on? What is going on? I'm gonna find that out right now. I thought I did that like right away. Like, when you set up the channel and you first get that first thing of being able to monetize, you that's all part of it. You'd say, okay, I turn this on, turn that on. And I thought I did all that when this probably isn't good content, me turning on memberships, but earn. Oh, finish setup. Oh, I never finished it. What do I have to turn on? Proof. Set up your membership software. It's been approved. $2, $6, $20. Default perks. What did I not do? Okay, yeah, I'll finish that later. Thank you guys so much, man, for letting me know that it wasn't turned on. I thought that had been turned on for this last few weeks. So thank you, guys, for recommending that. They work. It's just silly me. You do amazing. Thank you, Katie, Connie, Loudmouth, Linda. I'm going to be able to say that so fluidly in time. Or is it Caddy? It's probably Caddy, Connie, and Loudmouth, Linda. I'm hoping it's like two of you guys who share something, or maybe it's a channel. I'll have to go check it out. But yeah, thank you so much. Let's bless. I'm sorry I'm going through this. Pray for you. Yes, let's have some massive prayers for Blessed. And Amy says, towards a second screaming goat. Oh, thank you. Thanks. Yeah. And I'm not even gonna say how much they are because I don't want people to just be like, oh yeah, just me asking for more money. No. But yes, that goes definitely towards the screaming goat. Thank you so much. And I will show the receipt when I get it. This is where your $2.99 lands. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Back to the comments. Man, that's so crazy that I never finished that. Now I'm like, it's blowing me away that I didn't do it. Oh yeah, because I need to upload my own badges. Okay, that's okay. Regular live. Let's go back live. Go all the way back to the bottom. Thank you, Aunt Lindy, for the prayers for bless. What about the fainting goats? I know, man. Fainting goats are a trip, right? I mean, I'm 56 years old, and when it comes to like stuff like that, when I'm like, hey, how did I not know about fainting goats? You know what I think it is, and some of you guys can probably agree or disagree with this, is that I think a lot of information we've learned, like I probably learned about fainting goats when I was, 8 years old, and probably knew about fainting goats until I was like 20. But then when I, went to school and, got my systems engineer certificate, when you input all this other new information, like I think your brain just kind of like deletes stuff and make room for other stuff. And then you forget you even knew about that. It's either that or, getting old. And so, yeah, who knows? I didn't want to say dementia because, others have said dementia, and I don't, it's not dementia. I don't have dementia, but it's, who knows why we do that. But I feel like I just learned about screaming goats a year and a half when there's no way, right? I've had to have known goats have screamed my entire life, but and I learned it on Law Talk with Mike and EDB. I guess Emily has screaming goats, right? That's crazy. What else is going on? Cool. Okay, yeah. All I gotta do is create a post for you guys. Jamie, what is your opinion on for content? Let me see, Sam. I'd lose my head if it wasn't screwed on. Yeah, that's right. Me too. And you're 34, yeah, right? Man, when I was 34, yeah, I felt like I was in my prime. I really do, man. I feel like 34 is really like where I got my stride physically, but like in my mid to late 20s, like when I was working at Microsoft, that's when I really felt like I could see my future of like, having things in family. And I wasn't thinking too much about God yet or about spirituality. It was pretty materialistic, but I was seeing that future, that picket fence, down the road. And thank you so much, Lisa White. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Happy to find your channel. You're a good guy and it's refreshing. I really appreciate you freely sharing your faith. Thanks, Lisa. Yeah. I have to, or else I'm a fraud, right? I have to. And I don't want to be wishy-washy about it when I talk about reincarnation and believing in those other things. It's just what I believe. There was no way. Like, there was no way. And I had a pastor tell me, he's like, well, yeah, if it's real, it's real. But I think with Jesus, you don't have to keep coming back, to learn lessons. With Jesus, you can just do it this one last time and you're good to go to the light. That made a lot of sense to me when he said that. So crazy how fast these chats move. And I don't know how the bigger people do it with huge chats. Wait, is Wolfie going somewhere? See you on the next one. All right, bye, Wolfie. See you later if you haven't already left. See you on the next one, man. I appreciate you being here, brother. I have to leave myself notes to remind myself. And yeah, man, I am the post-it king. I almost said queen. Someone seen my interview on another channel this is what we're just talking about on Blood on the Razor Wire. And someone said, oh, it seems like he's got sugar in his tank. So, me saying like, oh yeah, I'm the post-it queen. He's like, if they seen this, we're like, yes, I told you he was gay. Whatever, man. No sugar in the tank. Although I do love sugar and I'm going to eat some sugar as soon as this thing is over with. Yeah, people are crazy in the chats and in the comment section. People get nuts. If they don't like you or if they feel like they want to like troll you, man, they get vicious. When I very first started, when I was doing my legal, by the way, I have a legal channel called Legal Livewire Court Watch TV, and I do have content there. Since I've been doing this, it's slowed down a little bit, but I am going to start, once this is rolling more like it is today, I am going to have content on there every day, and I find some cool court hearings. Of course, there's tons of other channels that do the same thing. Some people I really like, but I would love it if you guys could come to my channel and check out my content. Supporting that channel helps this channel, right? The more I can make with that channel, it gives me the more freedom to do more research for this channel. I don't need to buy a bus or anything and go across country and be it at whatchamacallit, at courts, but that would be dope. But that's not like my goal for this channel. I just want to I'm gonna start doing interviews hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Depends on how fast I paint this space, and then have interview addicts, people, criminals who are doing good, or just anybody. How about that? If any of you guys want to come on and talk, we can do an hour just talking to any of you guys. If any of you guys would like to come on to After the Bars, shoot me an email, in the subject line put guest, and then I will see that. Tell me what you want to talk about and we'll do it. I really want to go on Blessed's show. I want to go on James's show, and whoever else. I would love to go on there and so we can shoot the shit and see each other eye to eye. That would be amazing. Amazing. That's what it's about. Yeah, Ian, love it. Please shoot me an email. InsideTheMindX@gmail.com. Did Kim experience a loss? Kim, can we have prayer for Kim Watts? I guess she's has a loss. I would love to come on your channel and talk about spirituality. Kim, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Let's do it. Let's start setting that stuff up. Let me get my my legs going, and we'll be able to do maybe 2 days a week. We can do that, and we can talk about current events like today with each other and with the chat. It'd be nice to have someone that could do the chats and star stuff that I can come back and talk. There's no way that like other channels don't have someone doing that, right? There's no way, because when they can be like, okay, let's go to the chat, when it's just them, there's no way. There's no way. Unless I'm a total idiot. Hey, B. Gene. Good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Caught it today. I think Laura. Oh, well, I don't want to. I don't want to say anything. I think about having a channel, but I'm pretty much like a Marmite. That's funny. Man, you know what? Someone told me, and I had already started my channel. The people who don't have channels and that will help pay bills and create a life, of just doing this, especially when the unemployment's down or whatever. But do it authentically and not be a con and a scam, just be your authentic self. The biggest thing that keeps people from doing it is just, I know this is going to sound trite, is just making that first video. The fear of making that first one, because after you make the first one, all the rest, it's all downhill. You grow, you get better at it. Your first videos look weird. I would love to, we should react to my first, let's do it. Let's do it right now. I was going to say, hey, yeah, in the future, we should react to my first video. No, let's do it right now. Why wait when the getting's good, right? Let's find it. I haven't seen this in a long, long time. I'm going to have to switch accounts. No, I guess I can just type in legal livewire. Legal. And you know what? When I first started, when I tried to get monetized, they kept denying me. And I would ask everyone, they'd be like, no, why? I don't know why they're denying you. I don't know why they're denying you. And then I got so mad that I deleted my channel. I deleted I can't remember how many thousands of subscribers. I deleted it. No, I deleted it on accident. That's what happened. I was mad and I accidentally deleted it. Freaked out. It was Christmas Day and I did it, and had a complete meltdown. And Mariana figured out a way to undelete it. I was so relieved. I was so relieved. Let's find this thing. Sorry, guys, it's taking a second. Now I got sidetracked with this. Nah, I'll do something better. Okay. First live video I ever did. Let's take a look, see. Oldest. I'm almost afraid. I mean, I could do that one. Oh no, this one's perfect. I mean, this is the second one I did. The first one I did wasn't really me on it. I mean, it was me, but I was just really small. Look at this guy. No, that's not a beer. It's Pepsi.
Both times. The first time I started my live, and just this time I was getting my hands warm the first time, and this time I'm wiping Pepsi off my face. Anyways, welcome to the All Rise Legal Network. I'm still just practicing streaming, trying to work out some of the kinks. I think I got my internet a little faster. I went and got a Wi-Fi extender from the office that's over here to the RV until we move into the house.
We were living in a tour bus.
Life has been crazy.
A nice one. It was really nice.
Just relocating up here to Whitefish in Kalispell, Montana. I'm doing some tattooing up here at a tattoo shop called Bad Rock. Anyways, it's been super slow. The holidays are always slow in this neck of the woods. Other cities,
and that's why I created the channel, because it was so slow. I was bored.
This is actually my busy season because everyone is done playing in the summer, and they're ready to get tattooed in the winter. Here, it's kind of the opposite. It's kind of weird. I don't know why, but I think it's because there's a big rush of tourists that come up here. Columbia Falls, Glacier National Park. I'm like super close. Stone's throw. And
Stone's throw.
But anyway, I wanted to get back on here and practice some live streaming. So that's what I'm doing today. I have a stalker case with Magistrate Burton in Detroit. I've been doing lots of recording and editing, so I will be posting new videos.
You know what bums me about that video is that I don't have those Oakleys anymore. Those glasses, I loved those glasses, and they got ran over. I got out of my truck and they fell on the ground and they got ran over. I was so mad. I was so mad. Raisin, berries, and all sorts. What's going on in the chat right now? Long hair. Yeah, I had really long hair and I cut it, and then I was gonna shave my head. Hold on, real quick. Oh shit! I put the door shut and I freaked out, dude. You can. No, I am live. Oh, I just freaked out. Oh, okay. You can pop in if you want. Okay, go ahead. What are you doing home? Oh, okay, cool. Love you too. Dude, I freaked out. I heard the front door shut and I thought Hazley was in the living room by herself. So I was like, what the heck? But it was my wife. I know I'm getting a little jumpy. It's because I'm using way too much stuff. But anyway, well, guys, that brings us to 2 hours. I don't really feel a reason to go later. I mean, unless you guys can think of something. Yeah, I had really long hair. And thanks again for the super chats, guys. That's amazing. I love it. Let me make sure I got everybody. Yes. Thank you so much. What do you say, buddy? Like, keep them coming. It seems so fucking shisty, like a car salesman. Thanks. Tomorrow we got some cool stuff. We're gonna play Germany or Florida, or Florida or Germany. That kind of looks like this. Oh, my seat must have got higher. Oh no, I moved the camera closer. That's what happened. And yeah, so that's Florida, Germany. We're gonna have some cool stories. It's either one for Florida, 2 for Germany. Whoever has the most at the end wins. If it's a tie, 2-way, 3-way, 4-way, 5-way tie, then that's 2 shirts, 3 shirts, 4 shirts, 5 shirts we send out. So be sure to come for Florida to Germany. It's going to be super fun tomorrow. I'm telling you right now, Florida, Germany is going to be badass. I think last time I kind of ran into some kinks. I won't forget to do the membership. I have to just do I think a post welcoming you guys. So yeah, everyone's already bailing. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much, for real. Thank you so much for being here and supporting After the Bars. If you guys have any ideas, shoot me an email. Man, the emails are crazy. There's so many emails. I thought about doing something that can organize them with priority, and then I can give you guys like a priority number system. But I mean, I guess everyone would just be like, yeah, 1, 1, 1, 1. I was thinking like of a AI, something that could go in and be like, look for all the 1s or all the 2s or all the 3s to like prioritize it myself. And I could give you guys like that, that or whatever, put it in the subject line. Anyways, dude, I digress a lot. We're going to have to work on the digressing. We are definitely going to have to work on that. But anyways, thanks for coming today, guys. It's been awesome. I don't know if we got anything accomplished or if it was all just one convoluted mess, but thanks for coming to my show, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And I will change the outro very, very soon.